All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to look at exactly how to completely reset our overloaded nervous systems using entirely free, scientifically backed biological tools. You don't need any expensive treatments for this. You really just need to understand your own internal wiring. All
Picture
right,
this for a second. Imagine an expensive sports car sitting in a garage. Someone is stepping flat on the gas pedal, but the vehicle stays completely in park. The engine is just screaming at maximum RPMs, burning through fuel and rapidly melting its own internal components. That intense, destructive friction, that is exactly what modern stress does to your body.
so that brings us to section one, the modern survival trap. You see, we're caught in this massive mismatch between our ancient biology and our modern lives. Think about a caveman hiding behind a thick stone wall from a deadly saber-toothed tiger. Their survival instincts are screaming, instantly kicking into high gear for a physical escape, right? Now look at a modern office worker sitting quietly at a wooden desk, staring at an unread email from Susan in accounting. To your ancient brain, there is absolutely no difference. It perceives that email as an identical, deadly threat. The chemical culprit behind all of this is cortisol. It's our body's primary stress hormone. Imagine your adrenal glands, these tiny pea-sized organs sitting directly on top of your kidneys, just flashing a bright neon red warning light. In a true emergency, they pump a massive wave of dark red fluid right into your bloodstream to give you the superhuman strength you'd need to run or fight. But, here's the catch. Because we're usually just sitting completely still in a traffic jam while our heart rate jumps, or quietly stressing over a screen, that stress response never truly shuts off. It's like a kitchen sink where a heavy water faucet is left completely open, slowly flooding the entire floor. That low-grade stress keeps your internal cortisol valve permanently stuck wide open, trapping you in a nonstop survival state.
Which leads us to section 2, cortisol's collateral damage.
When that internal faucet never shuts off, the constant flood of stress hormones causes some invisible yet absolutely devastating physical destruction throughout the body. Let's quickly fire through this collateral damage. Look at muscle tissue. When cortisol stays elevated, it's literally like a drop of clear acid hitting a healthy muscle fiber, causing it to fray and break down for emergency fuel. Then there's digestion. Imagine a tight, dark coil of tense wire completely blocking blood flow to your stomach, causing severe bloating and nutrient malabsorption. For the immune system, chronic cortisol leaves your cells floating sluggishly, totally unable to fight off viruses. And finally, your belly. High stress signals a literal crisis, forcing your body to store deep visceral fat as an emergency reserve. And this damage travels all the way up to our minds. Visualize your brain's memory centers glowing with this angry, inflamed red color. Long-term cortisol spikes actually behave like a neurotoxin. No joke, they actively shrink the brain cells responsible for your short-term memory. All right, take a breath. Let's move to section 3, the vagus nerve reset. It's time to slow our pace down a bit because we're going to introduce a completely free biological hack to reset your nervous system. Picture a glowing blue line acting as a neural highway. That is your vagus nerve. It stretches from the base of your brain all the way down into your deep abdomen. This is your primary communication highway, and it's the exact channel responsible for telling your body to just relax and shift out of that high-stress survival mode. Activating this nerve is exactly like pulling down on a heavy emergency brake handle inside a fast-moving train car. When you trigger the vagus nerve, you can dramatically slow your heart rate down in less than 30 seconds. So, how do we pull that brake? We use what scientists call the physiological sigh. And honestly, I want to invite you to actively practice this with me right now. Ready? Step 1. Take 2 quick, sharp breaths in through your nose. Step 2. Release a long, relaxed sigh out through your mouth. Try it right now. Feel that? The absolute best part is that you can do this anywhere, at any time, completely unnoticed. The mechanics behind why this works are super fascinating. Under daily stress, the tiny air sacs in your lungs actually start to collapse. But that second short nasal inhale, it instantly forces those collapsed air sacs to pop open, which maximizes your oxygen. Mechanically, this specific breathing pattern forces your biology into a calm state of metabolic harmony. Okay, let's bring it all together in section 4, daily habits for harmony. Let's walk chronologically through an actionable, optimized daily playbook. This costs absolutely nothing to do, but it totally shields your body from premature aging and constant stress. So 8 a.m., expose your eyes to natural outdoor sunlight. This forces a healthy, natural morning cortisol spike. Midday, Swap those icy, sugary energy drinks for clean mineral water so you aren't pumping out unnecessary cortisol. 6 p.m. Confidently close that laptop and step outside for an evening walk. You have to set a boundary against that nonstop urgency. And because you triggered that healthy spike in the morning, your cortisol levels will drop perfectly to zero right before bed. Nutrition plays a massive role here too. Foods rich in omega-3s and magnesium, stuff like wild salmon, sliced avocados, and raw pumpkin seeds, provide the structural building blocks your body needs to heal those overworked adrenal glands. And instead of high caffeine and refined sugars, try sipping on some organic chamomile tea infused with raw honey. It naturally lowers baseline stress markers without causing midday crashes or random cortisol spikes. We also absolutely must control our digital environment. Set a strict app timer to lock out social media at night just to avoid that artificial blue light. Place your smartphone on a charging pad completely outside of your bedroom. Removing these digital distractions allows you to sleep in a pitch black room. And honestly, deep sleep is the ultimate biological reset button. It allows this wave of silver recovery energy to repair your adrenals overnight. Finally, remember that our bodies were structurally built to move through nature and connect with others. Simply stepping barefoot onto soft green grass actually shifts your brainwaves out of high-stress mode. Laughing naturally with close friends suppresses the survival brain, signaling to your biology that, hey, you are safe. And scheduling a consistent 2-minute breathe break every day, that completely alters your long-term health trajectory. The crucial takeaway here is that true health optimization is about working alongside your ancient biology, rather than constantly fighting against it. Which leads me to ask, when are you going to take your first 2-minute breathe break today? Remember, you hold the complete power to choose how your biology reacts to this hectic world. Take back control of your nervous system, try that physiological sigh the next time you feel overwhelmed, and really thrive today. Thanks for joining this explainer. Keep optimizing your baseline habits, and we'll see you next time.